Dear students, myself SUDIP MAZUMDAR, your science teacher, mentor. I am today here to give you a brief explanation on photosynthesis. But before I start photosynthesis, I want to tell you something about life processes. What are life processes? They are the different processes which help an organism to survive. For life to survive, we need nutrition, we need to excrete out waste, we have to have a blood circulatory system, we need to have response to stimuli, and we also need to reproduce. But for all life processes to take place, one of the most important life process is nutrition. Nutrition is what? Nutrition is obtaining food and then utilizing that food for different activities that goes inside our body. Organisms can be very small, like viruses, bacteria, or a blue whale. They all need nutrition. Now nutrition can be of two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Heterotrophic nutrition, as you all know, is a very good example in our body. We are all heterotrophs. We obtain nutrition by eating other plants and other animals, and we derive energy from them. The complex food that we take is broken down into simple form of molecules, and these simple form of molecules are used for different processes in the body. But that is in our next part. Today I am going to discuss about nutrition in green plants. Now nutrition in green plants is done by a process which is called photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means to build up, to make something. Now autotrophic organisms fulfill their energy requirements by the process of photosynthesis. Now what is photosynthesis? In which organism take in substances from outside and convert it into stored form of energy. Now what they take? They take carbon dioxide, they take water, they have a green pigment which is called as chlorophyll, and all these activities are taken place in presence of sunlight. As you know, sun is the most important source of energy in this universe. Now the question is how to trap that sunlight. That process is done by green plants. Green plants trap solar energy and convert it into carbohydrate of food. So in easy terms we can say that photosynthesis is a process in which organisms use simple materials in form of carbon dioxide, water, and in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight convert it into simple carbohydrate like glucose. Now what are the basic requirements of photosynthesis? You can see number one is a gas, that is carbon dioxide. Green plants obtained it from atmosphere. We during respiration inhale oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a poisonous gas, but this poisonous gas is used by green plants to convert it into food. Next is water. Water is obtained from soil which is absorbed by the root system of the plant. Chlorophyll, as you know, is a green photosynthetic pigment which is found in leaves. All leaves are green, but it is not. So some types of leaves are also there which are variegated, which have different patches, but they also do photosynthesis. Chlorophyll, as you know, is of different type. Chlorophyll A, B, but there are other forms of photosynthetic pigment also which you will learn in higher classes like xanthophyll, carotene. This is a complex system of chlorophyll which is present in green plants. And the last is important component is sunlight. Sunlight, it is in form of photon, that is the unit of energy of sunlight which is absorbed by green plants for photosynthesis. In your examinations there is a question, write the overall reaction of photosynthesis. Now in the lower classes you can write carbon dioxide plus water gives sugar plus oxygen in presence of light and chlorophyll. But in higher classes there is an overall reaction, and the overall reaction can be summarized as, which you can see in your screen, CO2 plus H2O gives C6H12O6 plus H2O plus oxygen. Oxygen is a gas which is liberated during photosynthesis. The whole process takes place in presence of sun energy and chlorophyll. As you know, the reaction should be balanced. So again I am repeating, 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives C6H12O6 plus 6 H2O and 6 molecules of water is given out. Now it should strike you that where are the chloroplast containing chlorophyll located. As you see, there is a cross section of leaves. I just told you chlorophyll is present in green leaves, and because of it the leaves appear green. Now you can see there are two layers, upper epidermis and lower epidermis. The upper epidermis has an important layer which is, you can see, palisade layer. The palisade layer has got chloroplast cells. Below that you can see air spaces. Upper epidermis has got waxy layer, and a very important feature which you can see, there are small pores in the undersurface of the leaf which are called as stomata. Now a question arises, I just told you that there is an exchange of gas. Now how these gases will enter the leaf, and the waste gas, that is oxygen, which is used by us, will come out. They take place through stomata. Now you find a picture of stomata. Stomata are having two important parts. One is the guard cell, and these guard cells also have chloroplast cells inside it. Now there are two photographs. One is an open stomata when guard cells are open, and there is a closed stomata when guard cells are closed. A very important question that comes in your board examination is, what are the events during process of photosynthesis? Now there are three important steps. Though it is a very complex process and you will learn it in a higher class, but in class 10 you can summarize the events in three important steps. First important step is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll present in leaves. Now the chloroplast, which contains the chlorophyll, it absorbs light energy in form of photons. When light just falls on the leaves, what happens? The light energy in form of photon is absorbed by the chlorophyll, which is present in the chloroplast. The second important step is that light energy which is absorbed, it is converted into chemical energy, and the water which is also absorbed by green plants through the root system, it is broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. Now the question comes, from where this oxygen comes? It is due to splitting of the water molecule. In higher classes you will learn it is called as photolysis. Lysis means break-in and photo means light. So in presence of light, water molecules breaks into hydrogen and oxygen, and this oxygen gas is liberated during photosynthesis. And the third very important step is that the carbon dioxide is converted into simple carbohydrate like glucose. Again summarizing, there are three very important steps or events which occur during process of photosynthesis. Firstly, the light energy in form of photon is absorbed by the chlorophyll molecule which is present in the leaves. The light energy is converted into chemical energy, and the water molecule is split into two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. And third very important step is the carbon dioxide is converted into simple carbohydrate like glucose. Now stomata has got a very important function in photosynthesis. Actually, if there had been no stomata, there would be no exchange of gases. The plants would be deprived of carbon dioxide. So what are stomata? Stomata are small pores in the leaves. They are mainly present on the undersurface of leaf, because the upper lamina of leaf, it is directly contact of sunlight. So it will not open. The guard cell of stomata will not open. So for that, the stomata, more of stomata are present on the undersurface of leaf. When you just see undersurface of leaf under the microscope, you can find small pores on the undersurface of leaf, and these small pores are called as stomata. Now I just told you about the structure of stomata. Stomata has got guard cell, two guard cells, and the closing and opening of stomata is very important for the functioning of stomata. And how do these guard cells open and close? It is regulated by the turgidity and flaccidity. What is turgidity? When more of water come from neighboring cells inside the guard cell swells, and that is called as turgidity. And what is flaccidity? When the water goes out from the guard cells into the neighboring cell, the guard cells shrink in size, and that is called as floccidity. And because of this change in water pressure, which we write here turgid pressure, the guard cells open and close. Stomata has got a very important function in exchange of gas. Which are the two important gases? Taking in of carbon dioxide and giving out of oxygen. Another very important function of stomata is water is lost in form of vapor, which we all know is called as transpiration. Transpiration is all the time, mostly during the day, even some amount of transpiration takes place in the night also. Water is continuously lost in form of vapors. Transpiration is very important phenomena in plants. Why? Because it creates a root pressure, and because of that root pressure, water and minerals from the soil is taken up to great heights of the plant, and this is called ascent of sap. Transpiration is very important because transpiration, it helps in ascent of sap, but transpiration has got a disadvantage also. If more of water is lost from green plants, the plants will shrink and the plants can die also. So too much of transpiration during summer has got a negative effect on green plants, but therefore we can summarize transpiration: it is a necessary evil. Plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis, stored in form of carbohydrate that I just told you. Nutrients are also very much required for plant growth, and plant nutrients are of two types. One which is required in very high amount, they are called primary nutrients or macronutrients, and as you know, there are of three types: nitrogen represented by N, phosphorus represented by P, and potassium represented by K, N.P.K. Out of this, nitrogen is a very important macronutrient, and plants usually get it in form of fertilizer, urea, as you know. Second is micronutrients. They are required in very small amount by the green plants for their survival, and therefore they are called as trace elements. They are of three types: iron, magnesium, cadmium, zinc, molybdenum, like this many others. Now macro and micronutrients are obtained by green plants from soil or by the fertilizers which we give them. Out of these N.P.K or the micronutrients, nitrogen is the most important essential elements for green plants. It is used in synthesis of protein. Plants also need protein, and for that synthesis of protein, nitrogen is used. Nitrogen is taken in form of nitrates or nitrites from the soil by green plants, either in form of fertilizer, just I have told you. Urea is a very important fertilizers, or the compounds prepared by nitrogen fixing bacteria rhizobium. As you know, rhizobium is a bacteria which resides in root nodules of leguminous plant. The place where we grow these leguminous plant, they will be never deficient of nitrogen, because these rhizobium bacteria, they will trap the atmospheric nitrogen, which is present in large amount, as you know, 78%, and convert it into nitrate of soil. So nitrate of soil is provided either in form of fertilizers or by fixation of nitrogen by rhizobium bacteria or cyanobacteria or organisms like that. Thank you. This is all about this chapter.